So how do you feel it went today?
Um, I think some of the things I tried to follow from my previous two lessons. Like today, I used the digital tool for the class activities and other stuff, and that was better. The group work that was a bit noisy, but at some point it was meant to be noisy when they were checking, but maybe I could do it better if I would make them rotate like from the outer circle other than changing the tables by group, because I think that was difficult for them to follow that instruction.
So they stay at the table and you kind of rotate the items.
That could be done. Otherwise, they could rotate in a circle. Like they are done with one table, then go to the next, other than just following A, B, C, D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think any of
Yeah,
those.
I was going to say, they could stay at their table.
Yeah.
And one person could rotate.
Okay, because in original plan it was like rotating. The one we are following from our Atlas, Rubicon.
Yeah.
So that's why I followed that. But definitely, I should have thought of it.
It could also be because you were very clear in your directions about where A was, where B was, C, and the rotation system. So it actually wasn't that bad. It was pretty good.
Okay.
But if you wanted them to stay at the table, one table.
Then it becomes very much teacher-centered. So I wanted it to be student-centered. That's why I made them move around.
You could have one person at each table to move, like when they're done with it.
Pass it to.
And when you ring the bell,
Yeah.
now you've got that bell, they would pass it to the next station.
Yeah, that could be done.
And each person could take a turn sending it so everyone would get a turn to send whichever one they just did to the next station.
Yeah.
Lots of possibilities, but to tell you the truth, it was pretty good.
I think content was like very much age appropriate, and the experiment was also very much age appropriate, and the way they found out what was inside without any assistance of mine. I only did some assistance to the student with needs because I made them sit in the same group so that I could help them. Yeah, so other than that, they didn't need my assistance that much. But yeah, I also did check their activity when they were doing the activities. I checked if they were doing it, and those were good. And also, I think I connected it to the relevant topic, that is sound, and I think I created some scope of critical thinking there through this activity. And also when they did the exit ticket, that was a bit challenging, but at the same time something very age appropriate. So they could easily understand what is a loud noise and what is a soft noise. And when they were stuck, one or two people came to me and asked like, will it be loud or so that was good. But yes, there is enough room to for me to improve, of course.
Well, when you use the word auditory system, and in the video there were the three kind of scientific names for the three parts of the ear. But you brought it down to their level by saying the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. And that was good. So you brought it to their level because the other vocabulary would be too challenging. Okay, so that's based on your comment about level. Anything else you want to talk about? So we had some goals, resetting, and giving specific tasks to different people in group work. How do you feel that you have you implemented those two suggestions?
I have only done one thing here because for this activity I couldn't assign tasks to different people, but I could choose the smart one to carry the paper. that they were checking for the objects they found. And then I gave the lead to that person so that he can or she can pass it to the other people. So that much only I gave about giving the roles to some particular person, because there was no other role that I could assign to other people in this activity. So only that much I did.
Now, I will say this, I saw you reset a few times and it was very good.
Yeah.
It brought them back. You've got the bell now, you've got your high five, and you can photocopy this, but I mentioned those things, they were very good. Where you could assign roles, because you did put them in groups, automatically, as soon as there's a group, you can assign roles. Because one thing you notice is the first child there grabs the item.
Yeah.
Okay. However, you could assign roles where there is the person who is the leader for the first round.
Yeah.
And then it rotates.
Yeah.
So the person who is the leader, they get to choose who listens next, and they also send it when it's a rotation time. But then those roles can change. Okay, now the leader role goes to the next person,
yeah.
and you can just tap at each at each table. You could just tap. Okay, you're now the leader. Right.
Yeah.
So there are always possibilities for roles when you set up your group work, because I think it was Tepe. He had the item and Hibiki wanted it.
Yeah.
But Hibiki had self-control.
Yeah.
Today. It looked good. Tepe wasn't giving it. But eventually, I saw that Tepe, after he'd shaken it a bit, he did pass it to the next person. However, it could have gone where someone got upset.
Yeah.
But if everyone knew that there was one leader and he was going to go first and then pass it, and clockwise, you could talk about doing it clockwise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you reset, you had good classroom management today. You used the technology well, you paused the video at good times. You rewound the video, very appropriately done, in order to get them tuned into question time or quiz time, right? So that was good. So I thought it was very organized today. Good resets. Your resources were good. Clear instructions. Now, they were clear, but once again, you could break it down into giving roles. You could break it down a little more.
Yeah.
Children really enjoyed the stations, so that was good. Your reset is good. Your high five. So starting with the high five, that's actually a reset. That's getting them tuned in. Okay, we're now starting. Then you, the next reset was, let me see where. Your bell going to the carpet. So you used those ideas and it worked well.
Thank you.
So, yeah, the crisscross applesauce was another good reset. Your bell and come to the carpet. So the minute you have reset routines and when they learn them, it's as simple as you just ringing that bell or saying these words, and they actually calmed down as soon as you did it. Today was the best in terms of that type of classroom management. It was very good. As you said, it got a little loud at the end. Part of it was necessary with the shaking, but you also had some not such inside voices when they were talking, but it looked good. They were engaged. So that was good. One thing that you should maybe something to really consider moving forward, because you've kind of done well with the reset, and you've acknowledged that you will look into the group roles. Make sure that your words match your expectations when it comes to behavior. Because one thing remember when you opened them and you said, no, we don't need to touch, but the children were still touching. And
yeah.
so it didn't match.
Touching, yeah.
No, exactly. But at one point, Tepe still hadn't seen seen the result, but he still hadn't settled in based on what you wanted. You wanted him to be sitting, and you still brought it over to him. For me, it's just, I will wait.
Yeah.
And you actually did it well once, where you waited right at the end, before they got the print, the final exit ticket print. You did a good job where you said, I will wait. But there were 2 instances, and we've all done it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay, thank
But
you.
just make sure your words,
Matches,
your success criteria, when you use words to explain your success criteria or what you want, make sure what they do and your reaction match.
Yeah.
Don't let them see it if they haven't reset or.
Yeah. At first, I had a plan to let them touch, but I saw the rice was scattered all over the classroom. So I think, okay, then I cannot actually, because if I let them touch, then I think the other table won't get the chance to touch it. Then I changed there was an adjustment. I changed my plan, and I said, no, you cannot touch, you can just see. But yes, I had to use the reset strategy there to stop the mess, chaos.
Well, anyway, I really thought today went well, to tell you the truth.
Thank you so much.
And these little tweaks, it was, I would say, 100% more controlled today.
Thank you.
And that was our goal, the reset. And I think moving forward, whenever you have groups, you can. It's a really good tool to give jobs, but make sure you're able to explain. Always explain things very clearly. But I think today went well, in my opinion. Your exit ticket was good. That was a nice, easy exit ticket. Loud and soft. It was, and the kinesthetic activity, they had to cut out and glue. It got quiet. It got very quiet when they started that. So you could tell right away they are engaged. They knew what they had to do. So it was clear to them. So that was a really good exit ticket. I think a few little tweaks where you hold them to that standard that if you say, no, you're not supposed to touch, don't let them touch.
I'll do that. Okay. I'll keep it in mind.
So you can photocopy the front and the back. These are my notes. And I think you've really shown some real improvement in managing the class and getting them focused. Because if you've got children focused, whatever the age group, you can do lots of things. And the fact that you are making it age appropriate, it's at their level, and a little challenging, right? It's what we want. We want it, zone of proximal development. We want you to be able to, be the support for them to be able to do it. But eventually we want them to do it independently. But we want it, ZPD +1. We want it to be a little challenging, right? So, all right.